Hello and welcome. My name is Sadie and this is my Flosstube where I talk about cross stitching. If this is your first time, welcome. And for those of you returning, welcome back. Hope you guys had a great July. Can't believe that it's already done. Today is Wednesday, July 30th, and hopefully we're back in production since I normally like to do my videos on Wednesdays. So I got some time. I'm all in my casual clothes, had a shower because it was wash your hair day, and felt relaxed enough to get this video going. So today I've got for you guys a FFO, got a finished project, I've got a couple of starts, actually 3 starts. One kind of planned I told you about, the other 2 are surprises, and a whip. So we'll see. This may be like one of the regular floss tubes where it's about 30 minutes long. We'll just chat, hang out, see how it goes. All right, you guys know I like to kind of give you guys the exciting stuff. So let me show you my FFO. I got to get Endorphine done, and they turned out so good. Look at those dogs. No, they were super cool to do. I think once I got through the majority of the jar and the top, then doing the dogs was really easy. Yeah. I found the frame at, I want to say it's Michael's, and I want to say this was a 5x7. I framed it myself. I just put like interfacing on it to make it a little stiffer. Ironed the sides in so that it fit in here. It was a little weird because the jar is not very symmetric. And so I had to accept the fact that it wasn't going to be super symmetric, but I think it lined up well. So this will be good for the person it belongs to. I probably won't get to see it or give it to them until next month, but it will be ready for them. So this is it. I was very happy. I felt good finally, right, having some finishes going and actually meeting the goals that I set myself for last time. So from the FFO, the next one that we have is a finish, and the one that I finished was Leo. I was so happy to get her done, and I do with all of them. I like to show them all 3. No, look at them. I can't wait to see how Aries looks with the other 2. Okay, I'm gonna stand up for you guys. Right, I do my obligatory. If anyone hasn't seen her, it's Sagittarius. I completed her back in November. All her glory. And then let's spotlight Leo now. So this is her pulled back. Oh my goodness. I really got on a roll with her. Like, there isn't that much beading, and I was doing some of the back stitching as I went. So really it was getting all her curls on the bottom done and then putting the beads in, but so she's so cool. I liked her a lot. I'll tell you guys now, and then I will never say it again. But there were, the one thing that I had like a bit of a trouble with were the beads. So this is a 32 count, and with the beading, the amount of beads that they wanted, so I think this is an original one, you kind of see how, especially on this side, it's a little wonky. Like, the beads just don't look like they line up all the way. They look crammed. So I realized after that one, I think after 2 of them, I thought, okay, maybe I need to take 1 bead out of the lineup. So then I did that with this one up here. If I can get to this one. And it lined up so much better. Like, it looks so good there. And I went, welp, I'll do that for the other ones, but I ain't going back. So that's what I'm saying. So the two that I did like that, where they're a little crammed, I'm not changing them. Because I was like, I could barely tell. Like, I know, but no one else would really pick up on it. But here she is. I'm excited. Right, and so then the goal is to have the 3 here on this fabric. For plans, just because I have this pulled out, I am planning to get Aries completed in August. And I wish I had it. I'll probably show later, but I think I showed you guys. There's this metallic thread in here. It's the DMC light effect. It is terrible. It is not fun to work with. Like, I would want to use Kreinik Rainbow Gallery 100 times over versus that DMC light effect. So, I am going to look in my stash. Yeah, that thing's terrible. I tried and nope, don't like it. So I'm going to pick that out. And I'm just going to find, I know I haven't stashed something that's a bit similar to it. And I will be using that. And I will be much happier. And it'll still be shiny. But there we go. Trying to figure out where the bag is. It's right there. So that was my finish. I think she turned out so good. And it just makes me so excited that I get to, you know, I've got the other ones to work on. And I really do love the Zodiac. Like, the whole astrology thing. Man, that's the series. That's probably one of the first series I've, like, encountered or been exposed to through middle school, high school, that I just thrived. Seeing the way that artists depict each of the constellations, it vibes with me all the time. So, let's see if I can show it. I have it here, but back in Instagram, I would have like a monthly astrology board. So I'm going to show you the one that I have. It's very delayed. It's still on Scorpio, which was like a long time ago. So let me bring it up. And I think I'm going to revamp it. So I may show it. I will show it later, but guys, I'm so serious when I say I love astrology. And for me, these are all different artists, right, that depict each of them. So, Mamabot does pins and... Oh my god. Murder on the dance floor. So, before I try to kill you guys, he did all the Zodiacs as pins. And I think they were all beautiful. And then, before they all go crazy, these are all different artists that have depicted Scorpio in their own way. And in the beginning, I would change this up like every month to go with the season. But it is a lot of work for me to do something monthly. I know, it's monthly, but it is a lot for me. So I am likely tonight going to switch it for like quarterly. So I'll actually express three different constellations each quarter, and I think that'll make it look much more vibrant for me and make me want to change it when it's time to change it, pretty much at the end of each season. But yeah, so I love me some good Zodiac signs. In the cross-stitching world, I've found some, and I love those. Maybe I will... Ooh, I could consider doing a video one time of some of the cross-stitch patterns that I have that are like Zodiac-based or lunar sign-based. So that could be a cool episode whenever it comes out. Okay. Next will be a whip. And the one that I was able to work on is the Stitch for Pride. And I am still working on July's, but I'm almost there. I can feel the finish. And I've got a couple days. But it is this one. So this one is of Amelio Robles Avila. And he was a soldier or part of the Zapatistas in the Mexican Revolution that occurred around like 1919. And it was actually interesting. I really liked watching the videos of the historians chatting about him and about the history in Mexico when this all occurred. So it was very informative. This one I liked. And I pretty much got almost all of the eagle done. I just have to do a smidge of the wing there. Have to finish the words on the other side of the eagle, and I have to get that snake in. So I will likely work on this tonight, try to get a good amount done. Hopefully finish it by tomorrow, so that when Thursday comes, or tomorrow is Thursday. No, when Friday comes, then I will be ready for August motif. But I am absolutely in love with the thread that I'm using. I will try to pull it out. Oh, I've been terrible at telling you guys the fabric, huh? There it is. Before I get there, the fabric that I used was the called for recommended fabric called Resistance. Can't remember the name of the person. Hopefully I've had my my little pattern info things coming up. And the thread that I've been using for July's is Watermelon by Pirate Robin. And it just does the trick. I have like 3 more skeins of these because I'm using them for Alforest Embroideries like scenic frog scenes. And I needed to make sure that I did not run out of watermelon. So I've got that. Okay. Now into the starts. I was gonna say I've got two of the 3 have a decent amount of progress for the beginning, and the other one I just wanted to put some stitches in to say I began it because I was hankering for it to start for a while. But the first one that I started, and I did it actually during the Midsummer Stitch Retreat. It is Cherry Magpie. I talked about it before that I wanted to start it, and I did. So let me show it to you. It is this one. I did a center start and kind of working my way down to the Magpie. And then I'll be there, right? I kind of working down and then I'll work myself up. But it is a good stitch. It's not my usual with the like sampler like motifs, the borders. But I felt like this would be great in the kitchen, and I am happy with it. Yeah. The colors, I think the colors are looking great. I'm definitely okay with it because, right, the original is done with a bright magenta fabric. So some of the fabric colors that she picked out kind of ghost. And I knew that would happen too. So I knew especially there's a color in here that is practically the same as the fabric color, but it is surrounded by other more bright colors. So I don't think it'll be an issue. I think it looks good. I'm very happy with it. So I was working on this during that time. And I gave Midsummer Stitch a go this year. I have come to the verdict. I enjoy it the same way that I enjoy a work conference. That I like to go to the interview sessions. I like to go when someone else, like when Stephanie from Lindy Stitches is interviewing the designers or interviewing the Flosstubers, or when the Flosstubers are chatting and answering questions. That I loved. Like, I loved getting to know them that way, listening to them. I don't like sitting in a virtual room and just staring at a bunch of strangers and hearing them talk about random things. And yeah, I'm that person. I am that introvert, and I did not get any joy from that. I gave it another shot. I said, you know what, let's give it a go. Let's see how we do. And yeah, so at those times, I essentially planned that weekend around when the interviews were happening, or when the live YouTubes were happening. And then all the time in between, I just watched a movie or watched a Flosstube, kept myself busy stitching, doing other things. So if you guys were there and like you guys had a great time, I'm glad you guys had a great time. I've watched some Flosstubes and people met others. They loved the whip dating, kind of the speed dating. I did that one last year, and that's how I found a couple of the local places around here, like my LNS now. So I was very appreciative. Like, for some reason, I was okay with that part last year. The sitting in a room just was not my vibe. So I know that Lindy Stitches is also doing the harvest, kind of like a harvest stitch. So they're doing a fall virtual retreat. I'll see. I think it looks like there's going to be a good number of more interviews with designers and Flosstubers, and it really isn't that bad of a price. So I have a feeling, because she's gotten a lot of good traction with making it more interactive with other people, then I go for that. I enjoy watching those things. So I think that's what I've been liking. But I don't think you guys will see me in those virtual rooms. So if you happen to see me in real life, I plan to do the Queen City Stitch Retreat that's going on in October. So if you happen to see me there, you can say hi. I will apologize in advance if I'm really awkward, if I give you big eyes, if I look startled. I think I'm somehow socially awkward, and yeah. I'll plead forgiveness, but yeah, you guys can say hi. I'd appreciate it. Okay, moving on. So, did that one. And then the one that I did like a spur of the moment start that I just really wanted to get in is Firefly Fairies by Lavendar and Lace. I first saw this pattern with Samantha, the Huga Stitcher, and I absolutely loved it. Like, yes, it reminds me of the three godmother fairies for Sleeping Beauty. I enjoy those fairies in general, and I immediately wanted the pattern, so I found it on the secondhand market, found it on eBay, and the next question was the fabric, right? Because this fabric, their instructions were to dye it, and Oak Crown Studios has like customed a fabric to go with this type of to go with this pattern, which I think Samantha got it from her. And if she didn't get it from her, I think she dyed one for herself. But I saw a very similar type of fabric on Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And I immediately thought about Firefly Fairies. And I said, yes, I want that. And this one is, I think this one is Snapdragon. So I'll do it the other way. But this is it. So for me, the vision is right, that bright yellow in the middle is that light that the fairies are going into. And it's surround like, and then the gradient darkens as you go out into those pinks and purples. So if I go the other way, I started in that middle. I just had to place where the green fairy was going to be. So if I show you, right, so essentially the green fairy's wand right there is this one. So I did the circle of it, and I did it in a way so that I could kind of manipulate around the fabric and make sure that the fairies were going to be around the center with enough room on the outside for me to frame it one day. This is Snapdragon. It is a 28 count linen, and it's an opalescent I needed something sparkly for it. So I was so excited. And that was my start. And then this next start is a design by yours truly. And if you guys have likely been on it, the whole world is burning for the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. I first saw it in the middle of the night because I couldn't fall asleep around like July 1st. I think it really was July 1st. And I fell in love with it. I enjoy K-pop. Like, I like Blackpink a lot, BTS, and I love animations. I love music. That whole production, people have said it. If you haven't seen it, yes, go see it. It was just so good. I've seen it 6 times now. Not even kidding. Like, I've seen it that many times. I've drawn them. I've been wanting to stitch them. So I created, and I think I'll put it up here, I created a pattern that was in my brain that I wanted to do in relation to that movie. So my goal, and mind you, when this happens, I mean, hopefully it happens within the next few months, but my goal was to get each of the 3 main female characters represented in a motif, like in a little 5x7 frame with their weapons, their symbols, things that represent them, but it doesn't outwardly say their names. So like I'm not, so the one that I have, it's based off of Zoey. That's the name of one of the characters. I'm not putting in big letters like Zoey. I'm not putting in big letters Huntrix, which is the name of the band. It's more like, it's that whole thing of if you know, you know. So if you recognize the symbols, you're like, oh yeah, that's based off of this movie, or I think that's based off of this character. That's the kind of route that I was going with it. So I designed this, and I used a free pixel art program that is on my laptop that I found. It's called Pixel Art, Pixilart. Created the pixel art, and then I transferred it to Flosstube, and Flosstube did a good job at like translating, picking the colors for it. So I did that. I messed with it, and at this point I'm stitching it now. And as I'm stitching it, I'm seeing places that I would have changed the colors, edited the shapes. And as I'm stitching, I'm going back into the floss program and editing the pattern as I go. I don't know if this is something that people want. I don't know. Like, this is for my own enjoyment. This is because it is a like entertainment. It's like a movie that I really enjoyed, and I wanted to put on cloth and frame for myself. So I'm just having fun with it. All right, let me just show you what I got. So I found this really big piece of fabric, which I thought was fantastic because I wanted a light blue fabric from the beginning. I was like, this is great. But this is what I got. So I started with one of the 3 weapons that Zoey has. So try to bring it as up close as possible. Their weapons, if I just kind of chat about it, are kind of more on the gem, like silver holographic style. Again, you can look up plenty of pictures of these. But this is my interpretation of them after seeing different reference photos. And so I did a top center start because I wanted to make sure I had enough in the top, and then I want to make sure that I can use the rest of the fabric for the other 2 pieces that I would like to design and stitch as well. What those look like, I'm not sure yet. I think of the 3, I felt like I think I connected better with Zoey's character, and hence I was able to pull off her design very fast. The other 2, I'm still working on it. in my brain, and when I've got time, I'll try to put it down on paper. But that is one of them. This fabric in general is a casual 28 count ice blue. That's what I got. And I got this at a cross stitch store up in Augusta called Bush Mountain Stitchery, owned by a couple. They very sweet people. They did a great job, and they I like them a lot. I love Reese's place too, but Reese doesn't have like Bella Filipina Mirabilias, and Mayanne at Bush Mountain Stitchery does. So I like different things from both of them. I'm very fortunate that I have two places that are within an hour and a half. She's an hour 15, so I'm very grateful to have those shops around me. It's also probably a little dangerous. But yeah, those are my items. I think the other thing I told you guys about that I was dabbling in and working on were scissor fobs. So I'll just briefly show you some of the ones that I made. I mentioned that I got some of the friendship bracelets with the names of the Sailor Moon characters on them. And so I made them into scissor fobs. I made 6 of them. One of them's already on scissors, but I've got the other 4 to do. So, aren't they cute? I'll try to show a couple at a time. And I was actually pretty surprised. I got a big bucket of charms. Did I put this the wrong way? I probably did put this the wrong way. And they actually had a decent amount of symbols. That's a bow and arrow for Mars. Right, I got Saturn. Got Mercury. I got Jupiter. And then I got Saturn. So, very cute scissor fobs that I can now put on all the scissors that I want to own. But, so those are that's what I've been working on. For August, goals, I mentioned, is to get back on Aries, get her done. I get the Stitch for Pride August motif. And then I think I also put in that I wanted to do a start and finish of You Got This. I have it here by the Artsy Housewife. And this was one of those gifts that should have been done back in June. But I will get it done when I can. And so, I've got a few tasks, got a few more things to complete. Continue working on the Zoey design. We'll go from there. Alright guys, I hope you have a great rest of the month. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye!